Oh, right into the water. Woo! Oh, that's a lot of stamina you use, buddy. How about we hold our Iggy thumbs right there? There's no need to rush now. Hello. So I was quite happy to see how many people were appreciative of knowing that Rat Out can be used to steal trophies, but let's not forget that Dino and Struthy also have Rat Out and can do the same thing. Tee-hee-hee-hee. But obviously, that's not what this video is about. And before we actually get into what the video will be about, so we all ended up seeing that there was this hotfix on the Discord, right? And it's got these server improvements or performance improvements and, you know, just random stuff, right? But there are a lot of people theorizing that this could possibly be a preload for, say, Microraptor or a playable, right? Just because we are remembering from last year when they ended up adding Hatzigopteryx on Christmas Day. And just to, like, increase all of our expectations as well at the same time, Aldron are also doing this strange little thing with doing a countdown, while also including all the different skin bundles that they've done throughout this year, which is quite interesting. That's another reason why a lot of people are very speculative right now about another playable. Usually most of them are hoping for Microraptor. So, needless to say, there is quite a lot of speculation right now. And, wait, what? That is... Oh, it's Dennis. How you doing, mate? Did I wake you up? Yeah, I did wake you up. Well, what do you think about Microraptor? Oh, you think you could beat it? Really? Yeah, you seem very confident about that, don't you? Yeah. Well, I think there's going to be a little race between you and the Microraptor for the Iggy Thumbs. Oh, don't mention the Iggy Thumbs. Okay, okay. Well, do you want to say goodbye to the viewers? There you go. Okay, Dennis, go back to sleep. I'll go get you some juvie stew when you wake up. Okay, so that was a fun little skit to make, and I'm glad I found a spot to actually be able to do so. Well, it's looking like we don't need to speculate now, do we? It's not going to be Microraptor, and I didn't really think so anyway, because, hey, they gotta at least fix the foliage of this game and make all the trees and rocks actually line up with what they look like in terms of their collision. So Jiggy ended up putting up this post saying that, yeah, hey, something big is coming for the holiday season. So some of my friends have said what they think it's going to be, which could be like a Carcharodontosaurus or Mapusaurus or Tyrannotitan. I haven't got a clue, but it sounds like it's probably going to be an apex from, you know, just the sound of its footsteps in this video if you go check the video out yourself. I would kind of like to see it be a 4-slot creature, not another apex personally, but that's just my taste. Just something just to line up with, say, Stego, Suko, and Anno, just because they're really the only 4 slots in the game. Either way, let's get on with the rest of the video, shall we? So, in the interest of keeping my sanity and not waking up Dennis, how about we talk about what we're going to be going through today? So, we've got 2 fights today, one over in Savannah grassland, and another one in Green Valley, but the Green Valley one was actually super interesting, as it really did seem like there was more than just 2 groups actually fighting each other, which, from my experience, is quite rare. Anybody who's watched my channel for long enough has probably remembered the Mix Pack War videos, so here we go again. But, with all that out of the way, I hope you all enjoy. So first, we've got to explain and lay the groundwork for explaining what we're all playing. So first up, we have Happy on her allo. Then we also have Terra on her allo also. Sibla is on a Latin, along with me playing a Latin, which I haven't played in a little while. Then we also have Elite on a Megalania, and Gusa on a Dasplito. We had not long since had a fight in the crater, but I kind of hit my record button a bit too late and I only got it on the replay. So, it wasn't that great, and you can see, obviously, who started it. Right now, I'm showing this as context, as after Gusa ended up dying here, after running from his life, as you can see, we ended up finishing off the group here. And then we moved on to a different area, where, well, funny enough, we ended up running into them again. So we ended up leaving the crater in search of somewhere more interesting, because, yeah, crater is the same thing each and every time you go there, right? And what we end up seeing is the same people that we had just fought not too long ago. Now, on the day of this fight right here, Aloe ended up getting a new skin, or there was a new skin pack released. And yeah, Aloe got one of those skins, and Happy was also using that same skin. And I was getting very annoyed halfway through it that I just kept confusing Happy's skin with all of the other Aloes also using the same skin. And it infuriated me. This is also where Abyss also logged on and was on his way on a DASP, along with Rasmun showing up on a Campto. So we end up seeing one of the Aloes from their group, and a lot of the small things like the Megalania, the Campto, the Latins go after it, but then the rest of their group on Aloes and stuff like that, their bigger stuff, seem to have come from the bridge in Desolate. My guess here is that they keep their stuff in the Desolate Home Cave in order to go back to Crater pretty fast if, something dies of theirs in Crater. But here they seem to be trying to drag us further into Savannah, closer to the drinking water, so I'm imagining that they probably have some sort of semi-aquatic. So before they end up actually making it to that water, all me and Sib can really think to do is just add bleed to them to try and soften them up, which, thankfully, Latin is pretty consistent at doing. But little did I expect, a stego ended up showing up from behind us, coming from the Desolate Bridge, just like the Aloes. So Gusa, while being chased by their Aloe and stego, decided to pop Carnage in order for that really juicy damage bonus. And it really does seem that this stego did not get the memo that it is not meant to be an aggressive dinosaur, as Gusa just kills their Aloe right in front of them. And let's just say this stego is getting the full experience of just watching their entire group die around them, while they're just chasing the perpetrators. And because of the nature of stego in general, we are leaving it till last. Now you've noticed right here that I'm using the word we quite a lot here, as in, us as a group. But while Terra and Happy are killing their final Aloe, I'm just sat over here actually filling up my water, desperately.
Alright, I'd say, Sid, this is where me and you just bleed the fuck out of it when we get openings.
Or so I would say right there, but I kept running into the problem right here that every time that I wanted to go in, someone else was going in, and
chance I've had.
The pain in the arse right there.
Jesus.
Now, I gotta admit, I could not really get anything done in this fight, just cause actually trying to find an opening on a stego in the first place is a small thing. It can be a pain in the ass, but then you add a bunch of extra people into the mix, and then it becomes almost impossible, right? Because you're colliding off of each other, and yeah. Anyway, this Struthy kind of showed up, did, something, I guess, and none of us could really chase it because, hey, it's a damn Struthy. Luckily, we did have Rasmun on Campto, who was pretty much the only one able to actually keep up with the Struthy, and so she chased it off. But while she's doing that, the stego decided to find a more suitable spot to actually defend itself, somewhere with more limited movement, quite close quarters. And with our, Aloes and our Dasp already quite hurt, it's kind of scary to fight here against the stego, but I was having this nightmare of a problem that I could not hit the stego with the kicks.
Mate, everything, nothing is hitting on this stego, mate. None of my kicks have been hitting. None of them.
Needless to say, yes, I was getting quite annoyed, and I kind of felt there was only one real way for me to actually do anything, really. though it wasn't really much. It was at least enough to put them in combat, so it would stall their healing a little bit. Though around this time is where,
Yeah, hey, you can.
of course, what do you switch to if you want to come back and try and get revenge? Of course it's hats. And their main target seemed to be the one that was the most hurt during this entire fight, which was Gooser on his dasp.
Oh, is that a switch? Is it? Oh, mate, they're still going for you, Goosa. They hate you. They remember. Oh. Fuck off! Help me! Ah, damn it. That's fine. Ooh. Oh, that's a lot of stamina you use, buddy. Oh. Oh, yeah, Hans is flying off.
So, as the hats flies off, we notice a concave has showed up to the area, and we kind of just assume that, well, this has gotta be one of theirs as well. It did try to act friendly, but we were kind of just paranoid, and we just don't trust the friendly crouching again from anybody anymore, just because we've had the kind of experiences you would expect on official
Oh,
servers.
yeah. Don't fucking believe any friendly calls from these people, mate.
So me, Sib, and Terra ended up chasing it over to the Savannah pond just to make sure that it didn't come over and actually interfere with the people who are actually trying to finally deal with the stego. In which, guess what? Abyss finally showed up on his dasp. Though he has taken quite a few good hits, in which made him comfortable enough to pop his rampage ability for that juicy extra damage. And yeah, so after he popped that, he was trying to be careful, but then just decided, screw it, let's just go in, and almost died. He was lucky enough, though, that it left enough of an opening for Happy to go in to actually finish off the stego. I then grabbed the trophy and did a little boogie dance. Now, anybody who's been in like a group of a decent amount of people, like
Yeah.
5 to 6 people, you know how loud it can be and how difficult it can get to actually get your words out and communicate. Yeah, I was having this problem this entire fight, and I was kind of losing my mind a little bit. But yeah, we ended up finishing that fight, and we decided to move on before the group that liked to stay here switched to something else like Apexes, as they've already demonstrated that they will do with a hat. So, after handing in the trophy at Hunter's Thicket, we decided to move on, moving through Desolate Pass, Sharptooth Marsh, Green Hills, and also Dried Lake, until we finally actually heard some commotion.
Oh, I hear Picnos.
That's right. There was actually a little bit of commotion here, and it seemed to be 3 Sarcos on land, 1 Dasp, 1 Picno, and 1 Duck. All seeming to be semi-fighting a couple of Struthies and a Campto. So me and Sib are pretty much just watching this go down while we wait for everybody else to actually catch up, since we're a bunch of Latins, we're the fastest things in our group.
Mate. What is this? All this shit against Camptos or something?
One thing interesting that I noticed though, one of these Sarcos on the ground was also one of the Eos in that giant Eo herd, if you remember. So we ended up seeing that the Struthies and the Campto ended up getting pushed away and had to go heal. While they were doing that, the bigger stuff, so the Sarcos and the Duck, took advantage of that time to fill up their water, just to make sure that whatever happens next, they're fully prepared for it. And with the different compositions we're seeing right here, we didn't really want to go against the Camptos and the Struthies, since they're so bravely just going up against these, well, pretty much things that could two-shot them.
No? It's just put a tiger nut on the floor. It's my tiger nut.
this exchange right here of them giving me a tiger nut and me taking it, I saw as kind of a peace offering.
Yeah, I took the tiger nut. Yeah. I'd rather team up with the Struthies and shit like that than the fucking than the fucking Sarkos and...
Well, I'll finish that in post-commentary. All the Sarkos, the Dasp, the Pycno, the Duck, there was someone shouting into the microphone at the time, so it was very hard to actually finish what I was trying to say. Either way, my friends had finally caught up. They were just ready to spring into action. Going after the most mobile and dangerous targets first for the time, which was Pycno. This was also before Pycno got its big nerf on its tail attack. And honestly, it seemed like the only thing that me and Sib could really go for safely. And I gotta mention, I did not know that a Pycno could hit a Latin off of them with the tail attack. But while me and Siblet are munching on this Pycno, we have our Dasp and other things trying to just take out the land Sarkos, since Charge Bite is very scary. But the funny part here to me is that their own duck kills their own Sarko. Great communication. While another completely different group starts making their way in, also helping out to take out the land Sarkos, and giving us this funny moment here where we get to watch a Sarko get killed by a Struthi. So now it has become pure chaos of 3 different groups fighting each other, full of Dasps, Ducks, Pycnos, Allos, Struthies. Just so much different stuff. Our main goal to get rid of next was really the Pycno, because it's so mobile, it does so much damage. But from their pathing, you know exactly what is going to happen here.
Oh, right into the water.
As expected, as usual. And no, your eyes did not deceive you. What you saw halfway through chasing that Pycno down the hill was a Rex, an albino Rex, from the 3rd group, which pretty much went on to finish off Abyss when he kinda just got caught off guard and no stamina. Also injuring Gusa very badly in the process. Though the Dasp that those two were fighting at the time,
oh my
well,
goodness.
we caught them off guard very raw. Though it wasn't just a Rex that the 3rd group brought, they also ended up bringing 2 Spinos and a Duck.
We're coming up to you.
Which was one of the main reasons why Gusa had to keep running for his life from this other Dasp, instead of just standing and fighting. And at this point, Gusa is pretty much just calling and asking and begging for help, because he can't defend himself without having to stand still and pretty much die to the Duck. It really was a shame that I didn't have enough stamina to actually pounce the Dasp and deal any decent amount of consistent damage. Hell, even just being a distraction would have been enough by pouncing it. Though we all know what's gonna happen. They keep chasing Gusa, he's pretty much just one hit, and they finish him off.
I'm just running into Teeth if I go in to help. Alright, I need to help Terra.
So, Terra ended up dying. I'm out of stamina, and I couldn't finish the Dasp, at least to my knowledge. But when I looked in the replay, this did actually make me chuckle, because I love a good bullied out kill.
Dear lord, this was a shit show, but it was amazing! That was a 3-way group fight. and Camptos. I'm gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna die to a conch. Oh, and a duck. Yeah.
So who won the war? Well, it was the one that jumped in halfway through the fight and brought a bunch of apexes, of course. But let's not talk about that. I don't care. This was way more interesting as a fight than anything that I've had in Crater over the past, I don't know, 3 months. If people actually left the fishbowl, they'd be able to see more of this in different zones. Well, maybe not to this extent, but you get what I mean, right? Yeah, I don't know what else to add on to that.
The Struthy was trying to help me. But, yeah, the duck kind of just smacked him off.
And so here we are at the end. This one, as I said, was way more interesting in my opinion. Let me know what you think about that. Would you rather see this kind of thing outside of just the one zone where it's usually happening? Or would you rather it be secluded to that one zone and everywhere else be kind of safe from this kind of thing? Yeah, I would like to know. Though, on the side, I have finished one of my difficult projects that I don't make them very often, but I always put a lot of effort into them. And I'm kind of saving it for a certain milestone, so if you would like to see that, I think you know what to do. But, with all that out of the way, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a lovely day, and also a lovely holiday. Bye!